The end has come.
There's something here.
You're irrelevant.
Close ranks.
I'm gone.
This will be quick.
We do it my way.
Interesting.
I am never wrong.
Follow if you dare.
Is he Mishulin? Is he Mishulin? Integrity compromised. Planar balance factor displaced. Maintain the structure at any cost. Maintain the structure. Quivering pile of metal bears little resemblance to a living creature. The voice that addresses you is the only sign of its sentience. Identification process complete. Crusaders recognized. Crusaders are enemies of Alelu Volesh. Initiating protocol communication with a potential ally. Step 1. Request. Crusader, I ask you to attack and kill me. Who the hell are you? Name Mishulin. Creature type inevitable. Status prisoner. Objective termination. Destiny Thanos. Why do you want to kill me? Why do you want me to kill you? Necessity. My existence sustains the energies and the integrity of the Threshold Fortress. The Threshold Fortress protects Arelu Volesh. My existence sustains the energies and integrity of the... Oh, interesting. Conclusion. My existence sustains the enemies of order. My existence must be terminated. Obstacle. Existing protocols. Self-destruction is prohibited. Self-defense is permitted. If you attack me, you will activate my self-defense protocols. I will defend myself. I will be destroyed in battle. This scenario fulfills the objective and does not contradict existing protocols. Conclusion. The Crusaders need to reach the most secure area of the Threshold Fortress. My death will cause the collapse of Threshold's defenses. Therefore, the Crusaders must terminate my existence in order to achieve their objective. Risk assessment. My death may cause some of the fortress's exterior structures to collapse. It may become difficult to return to the entrance of the fortress. Can you explain to me in detail what will happen if you die? Chaos will prevail. The defensive and load-bearing magical structures that sustain the integrity of Threshold will be destroyed. There is a high risk that the fortress's exterior walls and gates will collapse. However, my death will also destroy the defenses around the heart of Threshold where Arelu Volesh is situated. Okay, that means we can't return. I can't get back to camp. The heart of Threshold is the heart of the World Wound. The location is currently inaccessible to the Crusaders. Therefore, the Crusaders require my termination. I want to ask you some questions. Initiating protocol. Provide information to a potential ally. I am ready to respond. How did you get here? I was on a deep reconnaissance mission. I was sent by the Axiomites of Axis to investigate a strange new disturbance in the Threshold Fortress. But I was captured by Arelu Volesh and her demonic allies. Since then I have remained both her prisoner and her test subject. The Inevitable's essence is used to stabilize the structures that sustain the Threshold Fortress. Axis is a plane in the outer sphere dedicated to a universal law unmarred by the struggles between good and evil. It takes the shape of a gigantic city and exists as a shining example of perfect order and harmony, rising out of the churning maelstrom. Within the plane's golden barriers walls, the streets are perfectly ordered and clean. The buildings appear as paragons of their respective architectural styles from virtually every culture within the great beyond, and the natives strive to live in orchestrated harmony. What can you tell me about Threshold? Threshold Fortress is the central location of the load-bearing magical structures that enable the World Wound's existence. The Threshold Fortress is the most stable part of the wound, the only part that is minimally affected by the principal chaos of the Abyss. This paradox should not lead to confusion. The Threshold Fortress remains in a state of quiescence? How do I pronounce that word? Darn it. I'm going to find out. We need to improve upon ourselves. Quiescence? Maybe? Quiescence. It is quiescence. In a state of quiescence. But this is not its natural state. Quiescence, I know what it means. Inactivity. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it properly. Arelu Volesh uses external sources of power to prevent its destabilization. This is the purpose I unwillingly serve. I supply the power necessary to sustain the Threshold Fortress. What can you tell me about Arelu? Arelu Volesh, formerly a mortal woman, now a half-demon in possession of mythic powers. Threat level comparable to demon lords. Psychological profile extremely unstable. Her capacity for deep analysis and understanding coexists with her predisposition to manias and fixations. Conclusion: Arelo Volesh is an enemy of order and is therefore subject to termination. What can you tell me about the World Wound? The comprehensive amount of all the data I have collected on this phenomenon will take, by my calculations, 4 days, 6 hours and 35 minutes. An account of this duration is unacceptable under the current circumstances. Proceeding to account key points and key points only. Point 1. The World Wound is an artificially created planar rift. It is an intersection between the material plane and the plane of the Abyss. The World Wound allows demons to travel freely from the Abyss to Golarion, and it also creates a favorable environment for magical cataclysms, anomalies and phenomena. Point 2. The World Wound's existence was only made possible as a result of the criminal acts of Arelu Volesh. On 2 occasions she conducted a ritual to bind a mortal soul, one with the essence of the Abyss and once with a demonic soul. The soul-binding ritual acts as the framework for the intersection of the planes. With the essence of the Abyss? Are we maybe her son? Did she maybe use her son's soul in the Abyss to recreate us? Maybe. If this ritual is reversed, the soul will be severed from its bond, and the material plane will be severed from the Abyss. This process will likely result in the termination of the bonded soul. Bonded soul. The prognosis for its owner's survival unfavorable. No, really. Death is unfavorable. Who would have seen that one coming? Point 3. The wall wound is an unprecedented violation of both order and a powerful weapon of chaos. The wall wound must be removed at all costs. I await your decision. I have to go, not to... 3 okay, so apparently it doesn't matter what we choose, it will all give us the same. I mean, this is why I love this modification. I'm going to find out endgame part 2. Okay. Where we want the secret ending and the normal ending. Okay, step 23 to the secret ending. I'm going to read it. Well, when entering the threshold, make sure the date is between 16th and 21st of Gosran. At the threshold, when the game makes you set up camp, there is a small Jesna-like shrine near the entrance to the building you're about to go. It's to the left of the ramp that leads into the threshold building. Activate it and green lights should show up around you. This may be optional. What? Clear through the dungeon as normal. When you speak to Arelu after... do not fight her right away. Okay. Exhaust all the dialogue, then fight her. Okay, so this doesn't matter. I will grant your request. Let's fight. I thank you, ally. It will be an honor to die in battle.
We are the Crusade!
Papers with erratically scribbled calculations and formulas. The words I promise are written repeatedly in the margins. Well, that was a bit odd. Shards of several dozen large diamonds. They appear to have been used in an unsuccessful attempt to cast spells. Simple diagram of a tower next to a quick sketch of a room with a large crystal in the center. An empty stand that may have once held a large crystal. Resurrection scroll that has been ripped to pieces.
My skills are absolute. I do what I must.
That's not disturbing at all. This scissor just flies through the air and smashes into the wall.
I'm gone.
Something about this strange place feels oppressive. The air is still and silent, yet you can hear the distant echoes of words, promises, and battle cries. You strain to hear what's being said, but you can only make out a few words. Finally, cease, sorcerer. I promise. I promise. Yeah, that's what she said to her child when it was destroyed by dudes. See, sorcerer. But who she said finally?
Can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why?
Silhouette looks just as surreal as the sounds that fill the space. She's not looking at you and seems lost in thought. Her voice is dull and tired, and there is no trace of the hospitality she showed you at the entrance to the fortress. not fight her right away. Exhaust all the dialogue, then fire, huh? I need answers.
Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life?
Arilu barely seems to hear you. After a while, she turns toward you as if noticing you for the first time. She looks at you for a moment, and her expression changes. The tiredness in her eyes gives way to her cold, hard resolve. Speak.
This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the World Wound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand. Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge, and I suppose there is some truth to that. I did have reason for revenge. You've been to this secret part of my laboratory and know what I'm talking about. Or at least you have an inkling. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Arilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my son, away from the din of the crowd, and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss, a place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts, and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise.
Good, lawful. What happens? What is there something that we need to use? Threshold. Why did the Sarkorian hunters attack your son?
Because they saw him with a scroll that he had secretly borrowed from my supply. He was trying to perform a forbidden ritual. Children, they are always drawn to the unknown. But for the Threshold hunters, this child playing with a magical trinket he stole from an adult was just as much of a criminal as the worst demon worshippers.
Nothing can justify the killing of a child.
I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my son. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment and had been sent on the path determined by the gods into the abyss. And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers, not against those who had murdered my child, not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny, death, and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my son to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys nor death itself could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind, by obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free. And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul, and into this world. I opened the world wound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my son's soul and give him a new birth. One that would prevent anything from ever harming him again.
Told you.
And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my son's soul, like the soil takes a seed. I thought I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of his soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect him forever. That I could tear him away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
The strange, reverberating echoes of the demi-plane fall silent. All you can hear now is Arilo's sad, quiet voice.
Battle formation.
Okay, so we can't upgrade or up. Why can't we get Mythic level 10 right now? That's on. Mythic rank 10. Whoa. Will our angel or wings also turn golden? Okay, last trick that we're going to do is we're going to choose toughness. Why not? Okay. The owner of the imbued weapon now is under effect similar to haste, but granting 2 additional attacks and making all spells a level 7 or lower quickened. That's not bad. Last minute. Damaged creature demon subtype. Poison. Everlasting flame. Okay. Speed of light. And Bloodline Ascendance? No. Dimensional Retribution, why not? Maybe we can teleport. We don't need it anymore, but who cares? New spells, Army of Heaven. Oh. All allies in a 30-foot radius gain the combined effects of Avenger's Blessing, Mind Blank and Holy Sword spells for 1 hour. Every enemy in a 30-foot radius dealt 12 damage per caster level. Hello there. Rekindle with true resurrection, but affects every ally in a 30-foot radius around the cast. Ooh. Phoenix gift. For the next 1 minute per caster level, if the target would be brought below 0 hit points, it is instead healed to maximum and deal what? Deals what? Ooh. Okay. Spirit Guardians. That's ridiculously powerful. What else do we have? Godfrey. Champion of True Faith. Of course, we're going to upgrade everything here. Onugun Smash. No, we don't need that. Go with Greater Shield Focus. And Greater Weapon Focus with... do we have... Long Spear, Long Sword. Perfect. And Mythic Path. Disarm initiative, improve initiative, why not? And okay, Is it a magic become more powerful? Whenever an enemy makes a saving throw against a spell, okay. Whenever the Zeta makes check to overcome spell resistor. Well, that is. But we're not going to cast spells. Zeta chooses 1 teamwork feat during this and next mythic rank up. Ah, okay. Zeta gains fast healing equal to half a mythic rank. Whenever an Zeta critical hit, yeah, we're going to take Marvelous Endurance. And here we're going to choose... Healing Strike. Oath of Peace. Burst of Glory. Heroism, most definitely. Waves of Ecstasy. Going to course that.
I'll take care of it.
More Stalwart Defender. Combat ability.
You're a good person. I like you.
We made her a Dragon Disciple, of course. Weapon specialization. Do we even have long? No, long bow. Why not?
Soot is restless.
And
I wonder why.
improved critical long bow. Perfect. And enduring spells. Why not?
You are my favorite aide.
In new White Mage Arcanist. And greater weapon specialization. No. Extra performance. Fast learner. Improved precise shot. Burning flame sounds good. You already have everything here.
Huh? Oh, yes, what?
Destiny Beyond Birth, why not? Let's also go with emergency help.
Your orders, Commander.
And the best character in the entire game. There, I've got one. Agile maneuvers. No. Alertness, yes.
Speak with your actions,
And
not your words.
Pathways. Add half your mythic rank to your CMD, yes. Powerful shadows? No. Stoppable, yes.
The struggles never cease.
And last but not least, Master of All. Leaving Finner, anything? Point blank Master, perfect. Okay, no, that's not perfect. We already have it. Agile maneuvers, why not? Finesse. Oh. Longbow, of course. Don't have longbow. We would use an elven curved blade. Skill focus, athletics. Perfect.
I'm prepared.
And last but not least, mythic bat. Dodge. More? Oh dear. Melee attacks. Elixir. Abundant casting, why not? Perfect. And dragon. Wait, a dragon also has mythic whatever? Leading strike. That's ridiculous. Dodge. Mythic companion. But why? Always a chance? Wait, what? I could make the dragon a demon? That's a bit ridiculous. Mythic hero, mythic companion. Or an angel. Yeah, I'm not going to do that choice, that's ridiculous. Okay. So... oh, that's it, isn't it? The end. Yes, if we continue there will be no turning back. So that will be content of the next episode. Nearing the end. The final threshold.